This is More Knowledge, More Wealth with your host, Gabriel Shahin. Gabriel is a certified financial planner and a registered investment advisor at Falcon Wealth Planning. This show does not intend to provide personalized investment advice through this broadcast and does not represent that the services or securities discussed are suitable for any investor. Investors are advised not to rely on any information contained in the broadcast in the process of making a full informed investment decision. Now here's your host, Gabriel Shahin.
Good day, this is Gabriel Shahin, certified financial planner and president of Falcon Wealth Planning. My job is to go over the knowledge you need to increase your wealth. Now, to the listener, you can always reach out to myself or any one of my colleagues here at Falcon Wealth Planning. Our phone number is 855-963-2526. That's 855-96-FALCON, like the bird. Or visit our website at falconwealthplanning.com. That's falconwp.com for short. Or you can go on our Knowledge Center and get this episode and any one of our previous episodes as well. You can always go on Spotify, iHeartRadio, or the good old podcast. Now, we have this Knowledge Center also on our website through the Knowledge Center, which is essentially YouTube. And we have so many fantastic pieces of information that we created because of you. You've put in inquiries. You sent us emails at radio@falconwp.com. That's radio@falconwp.com, where we're able to answer the questions that you have. And if they're really good questions, we make a video on it. And that's why we have almost 1 million views, folks, in about a year. So, folks, if you have any questions, please continue to send those their way. Now, I'm the president of Falcon Wealth Planning. We are a fee-only, non-commissioned, true fiduciary, folks, where we go over all important topics of personal finance. It could be where you are today, how retirement looks like, taxes, Social Security, pension, estate planning, investments, folks, you name it, anything that involves a dollar sign, we can help you with. And we are offering 1 to 2 meetings, 1 to 2 hours of our time, folks, at no cost. We would love to help you. We've got offices all over. Give us a call. Our phone number is 855-963-2526. That's 855-96-FALCON, like the bird, where we can help answer the questions for you that you may have that is keeping you up at night. That is something that's worrying you, something that, in fact, is just on your mind. And it's not even a question sometimes of good or bad. It could be a question of maybe good or gooder. Or it could be a question of bad or worse. So you know your situation pretty well. Maybe your significant other, spouse, friend, family member does as well. But who truly understands something that the road that you've been on? It could be something that you've been very successful in, a business adventure, that who can relate to you? Some people say, do you have mentors? Some people say, do you have any partners? My whole concept of this conversation is, who are you going to for those questions that you really need a third-party, unbiased opinion? So I'm bringing this up today as we just got over the GameStop roaring kitty debacle and everything that's going, that Keith Gill guy who had 120,000 contracts, that's 12 million shares, at a $20 strike price. All that hoo-ha. And sure, some money was made. Contracts were exercised, so on and so forth. But after all that hoo-ha, like seriously, like, is that something that you're actually doing? And if you're doing, are you actually knowing when to do it? Are you being greedy? Are you doing it for all show? Is it all just for talk? Or is it for attention? Or is it to make money? Like, what is your goal? Would you rather be extremely rich and nobody knows who you are? Or would you rather not be financially savvy, like Antonio Brown, the ex-player for the NFL player for the Steelers, who's now bankrupt, and a lot of these other celebrities that are financial hardship? So that's where you got to be asking yourself, really, is what are you looking for? You're looking for attention, right? We see that people all the time that live with their parents or are leveraged through the roof with really nice cars just for attention. Or would you rather be financially stable? That's an important question that I don't know how many people are ready for. Because when you have a situation where, let's just say, you are blessed enough, where you are getting a massive inflow, maybe you're lucky enough to win the lottery, maybe you sold a property, maybe you were like Keith Gill, aka Roaring Kitty, and made millions of dollars. There's a point in time he had $1 billion gain. So maybe it's a situation like that. Or just the classic selling a business, or some whatever windfall event that's there. Maybe you got willing a big bonus at your work. But the idea is, what strategies are you doing? Because here's the thing. Situations like that happen, yes, like roaring kitty in your 30s or 40s, or you sell a home or a property or whatever the case is at any time in your life. But did you know there are strategies in place that can be done to capture low taxes and high taxes in situations like that that you could be taking advantage of? And then more importantly, at retirement. Now, what is retirement, right? You can be 35 years old and retired, and God bless it for being that. But retirement from the IRS point of view is 65 years old. And that's something that we can take a look at. Now, 65, why? Because that is Medicare age. That's when they will give you health insurance. Now, by the way, if I'm sounding a little under the weather, I'm just recovering from a cold, so no big deal here. But I do want to highlight that a lot of our clients, they're looking for ways. I don't care if they're billionaires, millionaires, or thousandaires. They are looking for ways to save money. And so what a lot of people don't know on windfall events, if you're taking Social Security, now Social Security, just to be clear here, the premiums on that are what? $175, $180 a month for most of us. Okay, got it. Now, it can go as high as almost $500 a month for Medicare premiums. This is for your Part B. Okay, you still have to do Part C, which there's no additional cost from a premium point of view for that. But here's the thing, it's based on income. This is what a lot of people don't fully understand, is that your income adjusts based on how much you make. Now, there are some exemptions amount you could be taken advantage of. A lot of people don't do this. This is why it's so important to talk to people before you retire for two core reasons. Number one is income could be higher while you're working versus early retirement. And then number two, Medicare. Medicare, depending on when you retire, of course, you want to plan in advance because there are a total of 8 different reasons why, if you're retiring, you could take and you're getting Medicare, and all of a sudden your income drops the next year, right? Because it's weird how it works. Check this out. So your Medicare premiums in, let's just say 2024, is based on your income in 2022. That's weird. Now, why is that, you ask? Well, because think about it. Your 2022 taxes, when do you do them? Well, you do them in 2023. Now, check this out. In 2023, you go ahead and you now file it in April, or if you do an extension, October of 2023. It could be completed. That's why the Social Security Administration incorporates 2 years back. Because technically, from October 15th to January 1st, that doesn't give much time for them to adjust your premiums. But what's the issue of that? The issue of that is if you end up retiring, well, that could be 2 years old information. They may think you're still making $500,000 a year. I just made up that number. Versus in reality, you are not. In reality, you are now making maybe only Social Security income, right? Maybe pension income, maybe rental income, maybe investment income. So it could have dropped substantially. By the way, folks, if you're just joining me, you're listening to Gabriel Shahin, Certified Financial Planner, and your host, More Knowledge, More Wealth, here on every weekend, talking about all important topics of personal finance. And I thought I would just go over windfall events, and what are the 8 different windfall events that come up when people are retiring and in Medicare and taking Medicare. So let me go over the 8. Number 1, marriage. Why? Because there are different tiers of income, whether you're single or married. So if you now get married, you now are allowed to make more money, and so your premiums can go down. So you can do a contest form, which is an SSA 44 form. SSA, Social Security Administration -44. You can do this and help lower your Medicare premiums. You literally get a refund check from the United States Treasury. Another one, divorce or an annulment. Another one, death of your spouse, work stoppage, work reduction, loss of income of a rental property, loss of your pension income, or an employer's settlement payment, right? They could just give you a big lump sum pay. These are ways that you can tell them that, hey, don't make my Medicare premiums that were supposed to be $180 a month, Please don't make them $500 a month. And by the way, if you're married, that's times two. Now your insurance is $1,000 a month. Remember, health insurance was supposed to be cheaper in retirement. That's why you're excited. Your last excited birthday is 65 years old because you now get health care from the government. Now, don't freak out. You could still go with your United Healthcare, your Kaiser Permanente, your Anthem Blue Cross, your Blue Shield, whatever it is. You can still maintain your insurance and any insurance that you want. And the premiums are fixed. It's kind of cool. It's not bad. They're good insurance. Some of them pay for your gym membership. So I'm just trying to share this with you because a lot of people aren't aware of scenarios like this. So I thought about this because of Roaring Kitty. He's going to have this one-time windfall event, makes a bunch of money, right? Just happened on June 21st of 2024. Now, in a situation like that, just assessing it, let's just say it's you. Let's just say you bought NVIDIA 1,000 shares 5 years ago, and now that's worth $2 million. Great work. I'm proud of you. And you sell it for a gain. I'm even more proud of you. So, in a situation like this, let's go over the options. Nothing matters on the marriage, the divorce, or death. Nothing managed with work stoppage or reduction in salary. Nothing happened to the loss of income because of a rental property or a loss of pension or an employer's settlement payment. So in a situation like that, if you did that in 2024, your 2026 Medicare premiums are going to be maxed because you made millions of dollars of capital gains, which from an IRS point of view, from a Social Security Administration point of view, they don't care if it's a capital gains, interest income, or if you're still working. You're going to be paying that max amount of $500 a month for your Medicare. Now, if you're not taking Social Security, because if you are taking Social Security, it gets withheld out of your paycheck. If you were getting $1,000 a month, you're only going to get $500 a month. So if you decide you want to wait to take Social Security until 66, 67, or the max age of 70 years old, if you were to do that, well, now it changes a little bit. What do I mean by that? Is you have to make quarterly payments to the Social Security Administration. Now, for those who are listening to this only matters for people 65 and up, or maybe 62, 63, people planning in advance, or people looking to sell their company and want to be strategic about it. This is a fantastic example of why it's important to plan. You plan for your business, you plan for your holidays, you plan for most likely your family, your significant others, or whoever, your friends, right? How come you're not planning for yourself? This, by proper planning, could save you tens of thousands of dollars a month. A year. That'd be nice a month. But heck, it could come out to that. This is just for Medicare. What about good old tax planning? This massive windfall event for somebody in this hypothetical example of buying NVIDIA for $1,000 and now it's worth $5 million, that hypothetical example, well, let's just say this person was charitable inclined. Let's just say they had kids. Let's just say they were looking for other forms of divesting out of the security. You can get out of that and avoid capital gains. You have to be strategic. And what I don't understand sometimes is people's hesitancy to seek help. And I'll tell you why. And I'll tell you this. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to tell you why people do not want to talk to a professional about this. And quite frankly, I don't blame them, but I'm going to tell you why. Because there's two types of worlds out there from getting help, getting professional advice. And so we're going to come back. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to discuss why some people don't talk to a professional, and more importantly, why you should. This is Gabriel Shahin, Certified Financial Planner, your host of More Knowledge, More Wealth. That's on every weekend. We're going over all important topics of personal finance. We're going over retirement planning, making sure you're prepared for retirement, Social Security and strategies, real estate, taxes, avoiding them now and in the future, investments, reducing fees, commissions, and so on, insurance, and estate planning. Folks, we are offering a free financial assessment that you could take advantage of. We have offices all across Southern California, including the Inland Empire. Give us a call to take advantage. Our phone number is 855-963-2526. That's 855-96-FALCON, like the bird, or visit our website, falconwealthplanning.com. That's falconwp.com for short. Enjoy the show. We look forward to serving you. Welcome back, folks. This is Gabriel Shahin, certified financial planner, and your host of More Knowledge, More Wealth here on every weekend, talking about all important topics of personal finance. Today, we're just talking about windfall events and why it's so important to plan. It is so important to take a look at your situation today and what you're expecting to do. I gave an example of having appreciated stock, selling it for a gain, and planning accordingly without just selling it recklessly. I mean, it's very few people that just decide to wake up one day and sell all their stocks. For those people, I'd be shocked if they had gains, because that type of a reaction and an emotional discord where one day you're so extreme where you're going to sell all your investments, realize a bunch of capital gains without any planning is insane to me. That type of insanity rarely would make somebody that much money, or it even matters, or it affects something like a Medicare premium, punching you into the alternative minimum tax, or putting you into the highest tax bracket from maybe a modest tax bracket. So, what do I mean by all this? Is it's so important where if you have a concentrated position, if you made a lot of money in the stock market, if you made a lot of money in real estate, if you made a lot of money in selling your business, property, whatever the case may be, is to get professional help. Now, I'll tell you why you need to get professional help, and then I'll later tell you why people don't do that. You can get professional help because you can defer potentially capital gains. If you're charitably inclined, you could look to transfer the shares to the charity instead of writing a check. You avoid the capital gains and still get the full market value as a tax write-off for you. If you have kids, some people, if they're going to pay for the kids' school, they transfer the shares to the kids up to the gifting amount. They sell it, they're in a lower tax bracket. Folks, there are a lot of different ways that you could be doing this by just being strategic, but I don't see people doing that. This is why you should talk to a professional, and this is why we're offering a free financial assessment. We're giving 1 to 2 meetings, 1 to 2 hours of our time, folks, at no cost. Give us a call. We would love to help. Our phone number is 855-963-2526. That's 855-96-FALCON, like the bird, where we can help answer some of these questions that you have. Now, going into more detail of why people don't want to go and talk to a professional, because they're probably just going to sell you. Most advisory firms out there who say they do tax planning, say they do financial planning, say they do other types of things, they're just trying to sell you their product and their services. They're trying to sell you so they can manage your money. That's all they care about. Quite frankly, I can tell you that because they don't give tax advice. They're not allowed to. They don't want to. They don't care to. It's too much work to do. Think about it. They're saying they have the services, but have they shared with you how they're going to save you the money? Think about that. A lot of the time, people are, in fact, working with a company that has all the boxes, that says they have all these CPAs, all these attorneys, all these resources. But do they ever cater that to how it's going to help you? Or are they just fixating on the money side of things? You know, the dirty secret in our industry is everybody has access to, if they are an independent registered investment advisory firm, they have access to all investments that everybody else has access. Now, I know some of the other firms that are out there, like broker-dealers, they only have access to what the broker-dealer tells them they can have access to. You know, you have 95% of the investment universe out there, but they're only focusing on 5% because that's what pays them commissions. That's what pays them fees, 12B1s, revenue shares, profit sharings. So that's why they're doing it that way. And that's why you don't see the whole universe of investments. I mean, heck, I could explain something quite simply with Vanguard. I mean, I'm not saying Vanguard's the best investment company in the world. I personally do like Vanguard, but they're not the best at everything. They're good at a few things. Now, if they were the best at everything, they would have the whole world's money and we wouldn't even be talking. You get what I'm saying? So how come not investment firms don't like buying you Vanguard funds, Admiral shares? How come they don't do that? Why? Because they can't make money off it. Vanguard refuses to do revenue sharing and pay commissions to advisors, which is why you're not being recommended or have any Vanguard in your portfolio. This is where you have to be strategic on your partnership. Do you want to be in a partner with somebody who only wants to make money off you? No, a partnership is where everybody benefits. It's mutually beneficial. And you have the common goal. This is why marriage is so important. This is why getting into a partnership in a business with an individual is important, because you have to make sure you have the common interest and the common goals. And so this is why it's crucial. And people avoid talking to a professional because they've seen the movies. They've seen the Wolf of Wall Streets, the Boiler Rooms. They've seen that. They get it. And I don't blame them. Majority of the industry is like that. But this is why working with a fee-only true fiduciary, where 100% of the time they have to do what's in your best interest, is crucial. This is what we take pride in. This is what we take value in. Folks, there are so many firms out there that say they do that. You know what I call them? Franken firms. People, have you heard that term, a Franken firm? They're this massive firm saying, look how big we are. Look how great we are. We are growing so fast and we're so big and we have all these services and we're all across the country and this is why you should work with us. That's what they say, these Franken firms. Why am I calling them Franken firms? Because they are growing in an inorganic fashion. They are just acquiring a bunch of companies, a bunch of investment firms. They call us once a week or email us once a week here at Falcon Wealth Planning because they want to buy us. Hey, listen, it's a pretty big check. If it was about money for me, I would sell to those companies because I wouldn't have to work a day in my life. But the idea is these firms are just a bunch of firms, hence the Frankenstein, pieced together to make one big firm. And guess what? They have private equity money. That's how they have the money to buy these firms, to write a check to a firm like Falcon Wealth Planning to join their firm. Whose interest do you think they have? Yours or the private equity firm that now owns them? Yeah. And how are they going to make more money? They want to squeeze them. Well, there's two ways. Up your fees. That's number one. Or number two, reduce the services. Because remember, they're trying to make some money here. So this is why it's crucial to understand who you're working with. Because the last part is they're going to brag about their growth. And I've been talking about our growth for a while. We have consistently been one of the top 10 firms in the country in our growth. And here's the crazy part. They're growing fast. We're growing faster. But we have never acquired a company here at Falcon Wealth Planning. In addition to that, we have 0 private equity holders. I am 100% owner of Falcon Wealth Planning. And this is crucial in our success because, quite frankly, a good dictator is better than a great democracy. Because here at Falcon Wealth, we believe in our clients first, associates second, and shareholders third. Because in my brain, if the clients are happy, we treat them with the respect that they deserve and do what's in their best interest, the associates are going to feel better. Their jobs are going to be easier. They're dealing with good people, happier people. And then lastly, the shareholders will naturally be happy. If the clients are happy, associates are happy, yes, then the shareholders will be happy. You know, the definition of a corporation is a corporation has to do what's in best interest of the shareholders. It's the shareholders first. And here at Falcon, it's backwards. And that has been a huge attribution to our success. And this is why I want to share with you is who are you working with? Who owns the company? Is it 100% private owned? Some of the best companies in the world are privately owned. Or is it private equity owned? What is a private equity's job? They want to 10x their money. They want to get in and get out. This is where you have to understand who you are working with. Yes, we talked about the services earlier in the first segment, but the crucial piece to this now is how can it add value to your situation? How can you make sure the person you're working with today and the firm and the culture will be the same in 5 to 10 years from now? I'm trying to share with you of ways that we can increase the value of your situation and making sure that when you're comparing advisory firms out there, making sure they're telling you how they can save you money. That's the easy part. They got to say it, right? That's the first checkbox. And then they have to show you. Like, show me. Oh, you could do tax planning, tax services. Great. So what does that mean? Here's my situation. Show me. Like, they call that a free sample, right? We've gone to Costco. What's the best part about Costco? Walking around and getting the free samples. So they actually have to show you how to do it and how they're going to do it, how they're going to execute it for you. And it's up to you to hire them. I don't want to work with a firm that says, I found all these ways to save you money, but I'm not going to show you anything unless you hire us. That's crazy. And yet there are firms out there like that. And so I'm just challenging you. I'm telling you to go to your advisory firm right now and ask them, how big are you? How fast are you growing? And how are you growing? It should be very simple answers. Organic versus inorganic. Ask these follow-up questions. This is tier 2. Have you ever acquired a firm before? Okay. Are you the only advisor here? And lastly, do you have any private equity affiliation? PE affiliation. Because think about it. If you have a third party that their interest is to get a 5 to 10x on their money in 5, 7, 10 years from now, is that really somebody that you want to be involved in? Because that firm is going to change. And you're not the ones that they're going to focus on. Be aware of these things, folks. And some of these are massive firms, like massive firms. Heck, even Fisher Investments just took and they're like a marketing company. I mean, they're tracking the S&P 500. There's nothing special about what they're doing. They just market everywhere. But they just recently got a private equity investor. So I'm not knocking anybody. That's not why I'm in the industry. There's enough business for everybody. But you got to think, well, number one, why did they get a private equity money? What are they going to do with that investment, that money that they received? I know Ken Fisher is getting a bit older, but what are they going to do with that money? And what do you think the private equity's job is? They made an investment. What's their job? Is to grow that investment. Well, how are they going to get their money back? These are the things you should be considering. Folks, Fast Show today. I want to thank you for tuning in with us. You can always reach out to myself or any one of my colleagues here at Falcon Wealth Planning. Our phone number is 855-963-2526. That's 855-96-FALCON, like the bird, or visit our website at falconwealthplanning.com. That's falconwp.com for short, where you can go on our Knowledge Center, where you can get this episode and any one of our previous episodes as well. In addition to that, has a link to our YouTube channel, folks. We've got almost 1 million views on that, and so much great content. And that content is questions that you have that are such good questions, we convert them into a video. This is how we've got multiple views on that. Folks, we would love to help with that by getting new content. All you have to do is send us a question at radio@falconwp.com. That's radio@falconwp.com. Ask the question. We'll try to answer it for you. And if it's a fantastic question, we'll actually make a video of it. Folks, I want you to have a fantastic weekend. I want you to have a great week, and God bless.